Hey, so Donald Trump and Marilyn Manson are both due to visit the UK after the summer. So Donald Trump is due to come to the UK for the state visit on the 17th of September. And Marilyn Manson will be touring 5 or 6 venues across the UK during October and November. And I am supporting the Stop Trump coalition, and I'm also working with No Stage for Abusers to really kind of get the message out about this. It's something I feel so strongly about, and I would really encourage more people to get involved and support both these organisations because they're fantastic. They're doing a lot of work, and the approach, I mean, especially for No Stage for Abusers, what we're working on is to contact the local councils and also the MPs who are in the constituencies where the venues are supporting Manson. So they've already had success in Brighton, and now there's a focus on Bournemouth, Nottingham, Cardiff, Manchester, particularly Nottingham, because there's similarities between Nottingham and Brighton in terms of the issue around kind of conflicting with the community values. I mean, you can say that, I think you can say that in any of those towns, to be honest. And I feel very strongly that you could certainly say that in London, especially because Sadiq Khan has taken responsibility for developing a violence against women and girls strategy, which talks about the fact that violence against women and girls is a societal problem. So it's taking responsibility as a society for it. It's holding abusers to account. It's also making sure that survivors are heard and that women have safe spaces. And I would say that hosting Marilyn Manson at a venue in London contravenes all of those points because it's not taking responsibility. It's just standing by and letting somebody who is really at this stage a confessed abuser, whatever he says in terms of these things never happened, in terms of the allegations that were made, all you have to do is look at his interviews and really listen to what he says to recognise that he is at the very least endorsing and kind of glorifying violence against women and girls. So I think it's a really important argument that so many organisations, politicians, people who have influence really want to get on the bandwagon when they want to talk about equality and community values. But then when it comes to actually making money from an individual who has been engaged or even supports the idea of perpetrating these crimes and these offences, then that doesn't matter anymore. And I think it's unacceptable. I really do. Because, I mean, I've been working in London in the field of violence against women and girls since 2009. And I'm really sick of it's the same with the strategy we have at the moment. All of the promises, all of the kind of, all the empty promises that just happen over and over again. The government right now has a strategy to halve violence against women and girls by 2035. But there is nothing to back that up. There is nothing to that which gives us any confidence that that is going to happen. And so I think this is a really important argument where we're looking at Marilyn Manson, because a lot of people could say, oh, it's just about a celebrity. It's not about normal down to earth. It's not about everyday people. But it actually is, because the people that we vote for, if you voted for Sadiq Khan, if you voted for your local MP on the basis that they were going to uphold community values, and then they accept Marilyn Manson to come into a borough and make money, then what are we voting for, honestly? And I think there are so many arguments around that which we just need to articulate. And with the Stop Trump coalition, they are organising a march, a protest on the 17th of September. And there are lots of details around that. I'm going to post them on this video afterwards, and I'll put more details on my website. But again, I think it's really important to make the argument that whilst our leaders, like Keir Starmer, who, like I've said, was voted in my opinion, as a champion to support the issues affecting women and girls, and the violence against women and girls that has just escalated over time. And then seeing him go to the White House and behave the way that he did towards Donald Trump as somebody who... So Keir Starmer was the Director of Public Prosecutions before he became leader of the Labour Party, and then he became Prime Minister. His whole background is around social justice. And so for me to have seen him kind of throughout his career, he also was a local MP at my last organisation where I worked, to see that, and then to see him go to the White House and invite Donald Trump for a state visit and to meet with the King. The King, that's a whole other thing. It's sickening. It's really sickening. And I've said this before, but it is a betrayal. It's a real betrayal of the values of what we expect in terms of a change from what we've had from the previous government from the last 10 to 15 years. It's not good enough. And I think that it's really important that more of us articulate this, because so often we're left feeling powerless. You know, we see all these things play out and we're just like, God, what can we do about it? Well, I tell you what we can do about it. We can join the cause. We can support Stop Trump Coalition for a start. Just look up their details. I'm going to put their website on this. And also we can contact, like I've said, we can contact local councillors, MPs, people that are responsible for upholding community values, and put pressure on them to say, you know what, Brighton had a point. This is unacceptable. We don't accept an abuser coming to our constituency, our community, and making money from glorifying violence against women and girls. It's not just about the allegations against him, which are clearly highly likely to be true on balance. It's also the things that he has said and endorsed himself in his songs, in his videos, his lyrics, and also in his interviews. And it's the same with Trump. We've seen everything play out. These people say, they're quite clear. They're saying who they are. You know, there's so much around at the moment about how Trump, you know, there are all these snippets, these clips from the past, things that he said about his own daughter, things that he said about children. It's unacceptable. And I'm not going to stand by and just let it happen without saying anything. And I tell you something else, it feels really good. You know, it feels really good when you are able to connect with other people who are like-minded, people who are involved in Stop Trump Coalition, No Stage for Abusers, and just say, you know what, we've got to do something about this. What do you need me to do? It really makes a difference. So I would really encourage you to look them up and support them. And, you know, whilst we're talking about mental health, I'm a big advocate of the awareness around the mental health needs of activists, the mental health needs of aspiring leaders, of women, because we are always operating in a space of how much can we influence, how much impact can we have. And really what I found helpful and what I kind of zoned in on when I've been more involved in activism is the sense of accomplishment and fulfillment I get just from voicing my opinion about it, putting the argument together, writing an email, contacting like-minded people. You know, you have to be careful, you have to find balance, you can't become obsessed with it, but it's so good for you to get involved. It feels really good when there's so much going on and you feel powerless. Well, look, I'm here to tell you, these are the things that you can do, and that can lead to other things. But I would definitely urge you to start with Stop Trump Coalition and No Stage for Abusers. So if you're interested to learn more, then hit like, share and follow for more content.